Welcome home. I'm really trying to stay positive about Fallout 76. The more we learn, the more I'm intrigued. Honestly, the no-clip making of Fallout 76 documentary sold the idea of Fallout 76 to me. If you haven't watched it, you really should. But what could possibly be a move Bethesda is making this time around could be ruining that excitement for me and many others on PC. If you're not a PC gamer, you may not be able to fully relate with what I'm going to be chatting about in this video, but I'll do my best to explain it for everyone to understand later on in the video. Now, I'm going to try to make this pretty obvious in the title, but I would like to state this isn't yet officially confirmed, but it is something we need to look at as it is seeming more likely every passing day. There is a good chance that Fallout 76, as well as other Bethesda published titles, will not be releasing on the Steam platform moving forward. Instead, they could be exclusively releasing on the Bethesda Net Launcher, or possibly being a timed exclusive on the Bethesda Net Launcher and releasing on Steam at a later date. The Bethesda Net Launcher is the same game launcher that Fallout Shelter initially released on for PC, in addition to the Elder Scrolls Legends, both of which are now on Steam, but they did have a time period in which they were only released on Bethesda.net. Fallout Shelter released on the Bethesda Net Launcher July 2016. It wasn't until March 29th, 2017 that it launched on Steam, about an 8-month gap exclusive launch. The Elder Scrolls Legends initially launched on the Bethesda Net Launcher March 9th, 2017. It released on May 31st, 2017 for Steam. The games that the Bethesda Net Launcher currently hold, as well as some of the creation kit stuff, is the creation kit for Fallout 4, the creation kit for Skyrim, so we're already seeing some exclusivity there. The reason why they didn't release it on Steam, I'm not quite too sure, but they are only releasing it on the Bethesda Net Launcher here, as well as Dishonored 2, Dishonored Death of the Outsider, Fallout 76, Fallout Shelter, Quake Champions, The Elder Scrolls Legends, The Evil Within 2, The Evil Within Deluxe Edition, as well as Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus. All of those games have launched on Bethesda Net Launcher. Now, the majority of those have also released on Steam. Fallout 76, on the other hand, as well as all the other Bethesda Softworks published titles that were announced, well, they haven't yet been put on Steam. Today was the day that Fallout 76 went up on the Xbox Store, and it also went up on the Bethesda Net Launcher for PC. The pre-order page on the official Fallout 76 page also makes no mention of Steam whatsoever. It does, however, mention Bethesda.net. There's another odd mention for Bethesda.net. We know that it is confirmed that the beta for Fallout 76 will be hosted on Bethesda.net for PC. That is one mighty large hint at it being exclusively released on that platform. This comes directly from the Fallout 76 FAQ. When and what platforms will the Fallout 76 beta be available? And the answer is the beta will be available on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and on PC via Bethesda.net. No mention of Steam anywhere. Confirming that the beta at least is going to only be available on PC through the Bethesda.net launcher. That would be pretty fucked if they were releasing the game on Steam for pre-order and you were required to download another game launcher in order to play the beta, or you just didn't get access to the beta at all through the pre-order. You'd be only excluding a single platform to the access of the beta from pre-order, so that doesn't really make sense. So there's only two realistic scenarios here. Either Fallout 76 isn't releasing on Steam at all, or will be a timed exclusive on Bethesda.net. Just thinking of timed exclusives on PC game launchers kind of sickens me, especially big launches like Fallout 76. Not to forget to mention that I can't get a single peep out of Bethesda or employees on that matter. They just straight up ignore the question. I always get responses from Bethesda and employees. I always get responses from people like Pete Hines, but this is one question they will not touch. You would think that if you're that aware of how much it's going to piss people off, you wouldn't do it, or you would at least respond and get out in front of it. For console users that don't understand why this makes me pretty salty, imagine Steam being like your PlayStation Store or your Xbox Store. It's where the majority of the PC market buys their games, the platform in which the majority of AAA titles and even indie titles are released. Now imagine instead of you just having that PlayStation Store or the Xbox Store, you had to install an application for every separate publisher, and in order to launch said publisher's games, you would have to launch that application, which is greatly inferior to a PlayStation or Xbox Store, and it lags like shit, and your friends list isn't there, and then launch said games. On top of that, your PlayStation or your Xbox friends list, achievements, profile, and so on are all separate for each and every publisher. They don't have a conjoined profile whatsoever. Well, that is what publishers are trying to do on the PC platform. It's a complete pain in the ass. It's extremely anti-consumer for PC gamers. Steam is the one monopoly I want to exist because it has done nothing but benefit the consumers. They allow all sorts of titles on their platform. Their user base is massive, and the Steam platform is just so polished compared to everything else that has come out, and they at least listen to the community to some extent. Origin is fucking garbage, Uplay is trash, and the Blizzard app is useless if you don't play the 5 games available on it. All of which you have to have separate friends lists, nothing transfers with you, and it kills the player base of the game released on them, as you're locked to only the user base of that platform. If Bethesda only releases Fallout 76 on Bethesda.net, I can guarantee we'll have less players than if it were on Steam, and will likely die relatively soon after the launch on PC. Game launchers are like social media. Even if another new social media platform pops up that is superior in all ways, if it isn't popular, then who the fuck are you going to add on that site if everyone wants to use Facebook? It doesn't serve its intended purpose, so it doesn't really matter, and it will end up dying. Online games are meant to connect players with each other. I really want to love this game, but I'm a PC gamer. I've seen what releasing a game on a platform other than Steam can do to an online game's player base after just a few months, and that's including amazing games. Not everyone is Fortnite. Bethesda Game Studios is massively loved, but they've already pissed off a lot of people with all the changes that they've made to Fallout. What if they now tell everyone they have to install another game launcher and they have to try to gather all of their friends over to that new platform to just play one game? It's just a damn headache. Publishers are trying to do it so they don't have to share a percentage with Valve on their sales. But you already share a percentage with Sony, Xbox, and all the retailers you sell through. Why are you so desperately trying to squeeze more out of only the PC platform in which you're willing to piss off your fans in the process? You're guaranteed to sell less copies, as selling a game on Steam isn't just simply selling your game, it's also advertising. It's constant advertising for your game, especially if you're a big AAA game that's going to sell a lot of copies. Your game will constantly be on the front page every time the millions of users launch the Steam application, constantly driving you more sales, which will then keep your game on the front page still. All of these sales you likely won't get if you put it on a platform that doesn't have the same user base. Believe it or not, but there are people who haven't played your games before. They may never give you a chance because of it being on another launcher and you being one of the very small minority of publishers that don't put your games on Steam. On top of the game selling less copies in general, having a smaller user base, you're going to sell less microtransactions and your user base is going to die faster, which means that small user base is going to give you even less time on how long they actually give you money for your microtransactions for. Your game is not going to perform the same if you do not put it on Steam. You're going to make more sales if you put it on Steam. Your user base is going to be larger, your user base is going to last for longer, and that user base is going to give you more money for more microtransactions. More money. Isn't that what you want? Before I end off this video, I'd like to give you some food for thought. The only other two major publishers that have now fully gone their separate ways from Valve and the Steam Marketplace are EA and Activision/Blizzard. But that's it for this video. If you enjoyed or got anything out of it, please smack that like button down below and subscribe to join the good fight. If you haven't already, it would be super greatly appreciated as always. And until next time, this is Epoxy signing off.